Let's get started. Hope all you can see my screen.
Yeah.
So let's continue with our topic actually. If I go to our TopMate website, and there you can able to find your course, MLOps Full Course. Click on it. You're able to purchase the course. Just please do purchase, or you can also do UPI payment and confirm backers. You will get the classroom access here, and you'll be able to see everyday recordings and the notes. Okay. And as I'm informing from the day first, we will be moving towards the classes, and whatever the syllabus I have mentioned, I'm going to deliver the same. Let's understand from the module wise that we all know some definition about the MLOps, and let's discuss the further topics on it, the subtopics. If you really want to understand and to be continued, I just want to add some more refined words on it. What is MLOps means? Just it is the market right now. It is the market right now where these resources are needed. Because if you take a decade back, 10 years back, the data science and data engineering are boom. Like they invested a lot of time on the data to get the good output or good standardized data. So now that standard data, now we are feeding to the AI. So that's how whatever the AI now you are seeing, it's from the standard data. So a lot of people, resources invested their time and their skill over making a very good data. Now the techniques and everything is very fine, your data side. That's how where your data science engineer will come into the picture. So data science engineer, he will be having a complete understanding on the historical data, a business historical data. Let's say you are starting an e-commerce company, or you are doing an entertainment or a gaming or whatever. So to make use of AI into your system, then a data science is the guy who is going to drive the entire thing along with BA. So first of all, we need to understand who are these guys and what they will do. Business analyst is the person that he will analyze, bring up the new points, and he'll trying to enhance the business use cases and business revenue. So he's going to have complete picture over how business is ran in the past, running in the current, and could run in the future. So that's how everything he will know, and he will bring up the problems. Who? Business analyst will bring up the problems. This is what we need to develop, or this is what we are lagging in the market. So business analyst will, and with the stakeholders, okay, so they are going to be come up. And then data science engineer started taking the data from different resources or different platforms, and getting into the one good like into your database side, or you're going to store it at your company system. So in that process, data science engineer is actually trying to do lot of analysis. He is the one who in and out he will having the good uh, like analyzation over the business, that historical data. The data science candidate has to be very good at historical data, the company historical data. He need to create a new pattern. He need to get the data and make it happen at the outcome, business outcome. So he will be going to tell all these things, and he's going to closely work with BA, closely work with data engineering guys, ETL, and he's going to closely will be doing and will be like telling everything to the ML engineer. So MLOps is only not into deployment perspective that we need to understand. We have to understand from this side, from the left side, and then the right side we can easily able to do it, since we are going to apply some DevOps principles. So for that, I need to give you a very good clarity, so that when I'm going to create a kind of a SageMaker notes, okay, or a notes or notebooks, and when I'm going to deploy applications, when I'm going to deploy any Lambda functions and APIs and all, you'll get to understand how it is happening. And I'm going to do through the Terraform. Okay. So before that, I'll in a step by step, very from the very scratch. You are a non-coder guy, you not know anything. So follow me, you'll get everything. That's from very scratch break I'm taking you guys. Now let's come to the data science guy. So data science person is not only in the organization is going to do one responsibility. He will be involving into many responsibilities as the business needed. I would say is going to be a like leader who is touching everyone and driving the project. And now ML engineer and at ML department. What are all the outcomes that the business is needed? That accordingly we need to develop a model. We need to develop a model. So this is what my model. This is what my model. So with some ETL or with your data warehouse or somewhere, you already collected what you already done the data collection, and you have good amount of data already. You have already having the good amount of data, and that with that data you want to train. You want to train your model. What are all the things that outcome you want to get? You want to train the model. Here, ML engineer is a developer. ML engineer is come into the picture. He will do all the things. Now let's understand. Take a cake, your birthday cake, and that is a model. Okay, so your cake is nothing but a baking cake is nothing but a your model, like creating the model. So what do you do to bake a cake? We have to collect some ingredients, right? Flour or something material we need to collect, and then we can go for a making the or baking the cake. The same way here we need to collect data. So that is the ingredient, and then we are doing some recipe. To do recipe we have to follow the recipe things, steps. So that is nothing but your model training, your model training. And then your model means your cake baking is done. Okay, that's what the deployment. Okay, your bake is completed, then it is going to be deployment. But what if you need to bake a 1,000 times every day? You are baking a cake 1,000 times, 1,000 cakes every day, or 100 cakes every day, 10,000 cakes every day. So that is mass producing, right? Mass producing that. So how do you going to handle? Now in this case, we are just only talking about the one model, one cake, one cake. We are collecting ingredients for one cake only. We are baking one cake and then we baked. But if you want to do in a day 100 cakes mass producing, then how are you going to manage that operations? How are you going to maintain that platform? How do you going to maintain those, what are all the things stuff? you are using util search, star and all. So that's what where MLOps come into the picture. Okay. To ensure this 100 or a 10 or a 15, 20 cakes to be in every day to maintain them. So that's where MLOps come into the picture, and it is the factory of baking cakes. MLOps is nothing but a factory of baking cakes at production grade level with some consistency and quality. That's what MLOps is main goal. Talking about the ML development side and talking about the ops side, this is the difference. So the same thing applies at your software deployment also. What is the challenge between your software deployment and this ML model deployment? Some additional things are added. That's it. Okay. MLOps integrates the ML models with the DevOps principles only, with some personalized or operationalized workflows, which are develop, test, and deploy, monitor at production grade level. If you really do some research and if you follow the latest news, uh, already Trump has announced many things. Okay, now 20%, only 20% of companies are using AI. Please go on mute. Only 20% is production grade level AS. What about rest 80%? It's not it. There's a challenge. That's what I mentioned here. We have AI industrialization challenges also, and ML machine learning industrialization challenge also there. We need to understand these are the very basic fundamentals that we need to know. So only 20%. There is still, and if you see the news, I exactly don't not remember the figure. They have released some of the amount like budget. So in 2025, there will be a lot of funding on the AI, lot of funding. So this is the time where the already data available and the techniques available, it is very easy to do that because it is data ops is now very easy. Previously, it was data only. Data side invested many people. Now data apps is become very easy. And now you are towards the AI or machine learning models to be production grade level. So in this case, only 20% there. And if it is going to reach 50%, there will be a lot of choices and opportunities for you people. Okay. So that's what I recommend at ops side, that we need to every day according to the trend. Now, if you talk about Gen AI or Agent AI, LLM ops, if you don't know ML ops, then how you going to do those operations? So ML ops is a base for them. If you understand, you could able to do the advanced things very easily. Now the technology is moving more faster. So that's what I want to tell you. This what is MLOps in real time. What it is in the real time. This is what in the real time, which we are automating the process from data pre-processing to model training and model deployment and model monitoring. Okay. So everything is going to be containerized. And if you talk about in the AWS, even business analyst can also deploy a model. He can get the output also. Those kind of services also available at the AWS. And at Azure, it is very easy that to do your ML model deployments. Okay. Second one is a state of machine learning. State of machine learning. What exactly it means? Before that, I can raise a question like, why is a machine learning is taking over industries? Like why the industries are adapting to it? You can take an example of healthcare, finance, entertainment. So why this they are taking adaptation? They are adapting to this AI. Since we know that this it is going to help you in automating the complex decision making process where normal softwares are not able to do this. Normal softwares are already with some code and some data. They can't do this kind of a little applied intelligence. So that's where the ML model came. I can give you one example. You are going to any of a company website, you are able to see a bot. You're able to see a bot. What this bot will tells you, what this bot will tells you, I can also give you an example. Cisco WebEx. If I went to a Cisco WebEx, uh, how do you buy? Help. I've got a bot here. It's not giving the bot. Only it is going to cisco.com. WebEx. Let's discuss meanwhile. Let it open. What this bot will do, this bot is already trained with some data which we are given. So we say that, hey, there is some FAQ answers and questions. Okay. There will be some questions, some answers that you need to answer. Okay. So this is from this side. And from the user side, when you are going and asking something, like let's say you're asking, how can I take subscription? You're asking this one. So whatever the answer already fit into this data, this bot will give you that. And you're asking something more, and only this, the trained or already mentioned answer will come to you. If you ask, hey, I am from something, a background, like I am the student, or I'm a businessman, or I am an advisor, firm. So I want to conduct a meetings. Then I want to take a subscription. Which one is the perfect plan for me? It won't tell you. It will again give you that same option. Hey, go to site. Whatever the data it is already there, options data. That data only it will give you. So this is normal one, right? It's not even that's not applying any some little intelligence. So according to your question, that it has to pull some data and guide you. That's what now your GPTs are doing, generative AIs. Okay. This is a small use case I'm talking. So this is how it automates the complex decision making process where we are leveraging ML models into many areas like fraud detection, personalized recommendations, predictive analysis, image classification, image generation. Okay. So when you already develop this kind of thing, here you can see I have this chart bot here. I click on this chart bot. It's not open. Okay, let's discuss our topic. So here, when you are deploying this kind of an ML model, that you need to be scalable, right? How it is going to be happen because of MLOps. So I'll just give you some more example on this in the real world case. Many projects are not up to the mark of production grade models. Now, even though you're planning and deploying, but they are not production grade models. Let's talk about the Netflix or Amazon. Netflix recommendation AI when they developed recommendation AI when they develop, it's not up to the mark. The engine is not up to the mark. It got a failures. So there's a success story of the Netflix and there's a failure story of the Amazon. Let me tell you that. So what is that? Actually, the are models are not biased. Models are not biased. When you take the case of Amazon hiring, so there is a hiring system in the Amazon, and they have using one AI which is getting lots of failures, which is biased model, which is a biased model. Let me tell you. When I talk about this recommendation AI is a successful one, and this is a failure one. So this successful engine or AI, it is going to filtering the users based on the interaction data, like what you watch, rate, or skip, and it is find the pattern of the user, and then with the similar taste movies, it will recommend you in the below of your whatever the movie you selected, and then it do a content based filtering also. If you are searching a movie like which is not in the Netflix database, but it's trying to find out from other. But when you're searching in the search bar, it will give you the movie full name, but the movie will not in the Netflix. How it is come? So this is what where the recommendations AI will work. Okay, it's trying to recommend you those things. It's trying to recommend you those things. And content based filtering, this is what it will do. Content based filtering, and where deep learning models is already integrated at your Netflix and trying to extract the feature according to the user content mapping. That's how the Netflix made a 1 billion business annually from the last 1 year with this just recommendation AI. They just invested a very good amount of thing in this. They use deep learning models actually. And now let's come to the uh, this failure model. So in this failure model, what happened when hiring system is going on? Like Amazon want to hire people, and in the year of like there's a story you can also go and search it out in the online. So there is a story that where Amazon in 2018 or 2017 they have used an AI based hiring tool for scanning the resumes. That's what we are calling now ATS. Previously it was there something in AI, but now it is a fully good trained AI, which is ATS, application tracking system. Amazon was used that one. However, later it got trained on the failures. What failure does happen? So when the model is getting trained, there's a data bias happen. So in the data bias, the model was trained on the resume submit over the like 10 years back or 5 years back. So most of the screening is happening on the gender imbalance. Let's say there they have flagged only men, not women. The result is included word as an woman. So what happened? It is got biased. So this AI is only preferred male. women was like the terms were not there. So when the screening is happening, only it is going to the men and male only. So that's outcome is resulted to lot of scrap resumes, and then they identified that, oh, this is not happening. So we need to give reinforced model. That's what in the last class also I said. We need to give a reinforced, like it has to be penalized, and then it has to go with the trial and approach error. So then they have trained on reinforced, where it not show any gender discrimination. That's what the failure model in the hiring system. So these two things are happen with the model. That's what the standardization of machine learning models in the market. That's why the models are not at production grade level, and this is the time that they are moving. We need to up to the mark. And second one is AI industrialization challenges. So what happening in the AI industrialization challenges? So before that, I would like to give you a scenario. Let's say we have one hospital. Okay, we have one hospital. Let's say this is an hospital. This is an hospital, and this hospital is basically adapting an AI to diagnose the diseases who are struggling from uh, like from the diseases actually. Okay, we want to create a workflow which is uh, every day regularly on a regularity basis. It has to scan and do a diagnosis, and then it will give us a personalized or whatever the outcome that hospital is expecting, that kind of outcome they want to. So for that they want to give the report, and then you can submit to the patient, and based on that you can try for a treatment. So this is what the hospital was trying to do it. Now let's this every day if you're going to do with a human, it's not going to be possible that much. You're not able to accurately predict that one. You're not able to accurately do that one, right? So the system, if you go to hospital also, many things are there which is already integrated AI with the workflows. So there we also use the technique calls bias in medical models. Okay, and halt progress, bias. So these things they'll be using. Now what happening there? We need a requiring integrations over this. Whatever the hospital is using robotics, like they are using the robot kind of agents only. So on that, intensive integrations has to be happen. Okay, and this is not happening as currently. And this healthcare is highly adapting this gap. If you go to any healthcare, like recently you can go with the news also, Optum or any other, they are actively adapting this AI. Why they want to fill this? And there are some drugs which, according to your disease, they need to suggest the drug and with the dosage. That's going to be done with an AI also. And there is one more AI there, Answer ALS. If you go to John Hopkins, so there's a lot of students are there. They're having data from all over the world, and Answer ALS is the one which is giving the data to the scientist students what they want. That's it. That Answer ALS is something a product of John Hopkins. That's an AI. So this is how it is working at the healthcare side mostly. We want to treat the people by diagnosing the disease. and that is very easy with AI. And that's why healthcare domain is still investing a lot in the AI. You get more, like many jobs. No need to worry. We can't think like that. This domain will go off or something. And now, like let's say like MLOps motivation at high level view. So this is what I could give you, a motivation that you should not be very downgraded and be upgraded and get according to the market trend. As MLOps is create the structured workflows with your machine learning and AI, from the data preparation to the model deployment and monitoring, which is reducing highly human efforts, and where you are going to be the perfect person to do this. And I would say you are a beginner or you're a cloud ops guy, DevOps guy, it's for you. There is no MLOps engineer in the market who is directly going to do work. You have to transform your career towards the MLOps. And as I said in the last also, like we need a Python and all. No, it's not exactly is needed. There are many projects are there. I'm every day dealing. It's not exactly needed. We just need to be know the basics about that, how to do it, how to write it. Okay, just a small automation you need to know. So that's going to learn in this course. And as you become an MLOps engineer, what will be the your real time challenges? Yes, as you're going to always going to communicate with MLOps engineers often, and you'll face some jugglers, or you're not able to balance the code, data, models, deployment pipelines all at once. Sometime you have to maintain good things. Okay, so good things in the sense, when ML engineer is going to work with you, ML engineer is going to work with you. So there are challenges where may come into the picture where you are going to actively involve. So that is versioning, versioning data, DVC, versioning data, okay, and the code and the model, experimenting, and also you are automating the pipelines for it. And sometimes there will be a complexity, there will be a crucial, critical, and you need to also ensure about the scalability. Okay, scalability, and you need to also ensure reproducibility to manage the model drift. Yes, this is very important when your inference is deployed, and so there will be a model drift happens. What does mean by this model drift exactly? I'll tell you. We have some data. We have some data, and we have a model already trained with that. So we have two types of data. One is trained data. We all going to see this, okay? Trained data and test data. This is a model will be having trained data and test data. Now, here we have application basically. Here we have application. There where user is there. This user is actually logging into your application and filling some form, like login form. While he's filling login form, what he'll give in the name, surname, last name, okay? Let's say last name, mobile number, location, and email address. So at application, we already automated this as a email service, location service, and communication service and user service. Like this, we will already at application side we automated this. But when a user is entering, he enters first name, last name, right? Location wrongly enters. He'll enter wrong email address, or he will leave this as a blank. At application side, even though you will keep it as a star mark, mandatory to give, he will give a random mobile address. Then this is the not correct value, right? This is not the correct value. And the same data from this application, this is going to be stored in the database. And the same data will take, and our retail engineers are, they will be keeping all this and doing good EDA. And and once we do a data collection, data, then data ingestion, okay, and we are keeping all these things here, and when trying to put into the model, are you going to put this missing value into the model? Then model what it will understand? You're first giving the false information only, then the outcome also will false information only. So this is itself, it has to be done. That's what here what happens, it is going to be the feature engineering. Feature engineering has going to be done, and then there will be some set of data, trained data will become. So this is an actual data. Feature engineering means this kind of duplicate numbers, missing values, general values is going to eliminate it, and then a proper data will become, and that data is going to be trained to the model. This is done as part of data engineering, where you go and get this kind of data from from different sources, from your database or from API, from an application, from a third party applications, or from your data lakes or a data bricks, and then you are moving towards the ETL, and then you are keeping into data warehouse somewhere to get into your model. So these kind of things are done at left side, and now here the model is get trained, and we got a good output. We got a good output. Then ML engineer marked it as a production grade output, and then we deployed into a Kubernetes somewhere. Okay, Kubernetes in somewhere, and my application is utilizing now. Okay, now I have my application. My application is using this. My application is using this, and the same user will come and is logging in. Okay, so there is new data he is entering. So there will be something new data which the model is already trained with some data, right? That is not there. Some new data is there. So you once you deploy it means it is not your software application. It's not your software application. It is going to run for an year. No, it is a model. It's not going to be run. You need to retrain. You need to retrain. You need to retrain. If the data is there and some new data is coming up, or 3 months, 2 months, or 6 months, there'll be changes happens, right? In application from the user side. Now the model is not up to the date. Then so there is a something data from the upper side, and there is a something new data, and then the drift will be happen. Drift will be happen. This is called drift detection, and again we need to retrain the data and retrain the model. Then this model will be up to the mark of current trend. So this is going to be also happen. This is the one challenge in MLOps. Okay. So almost MLOps challenges are all similar to DevOps. Yes. Who is having an experience into DevOps, they can easily adapt this kind of workflow, and they can able to do like much faster than other guys. And CI/CD, you are doing is all this training pipelines, deploying pipelines. All this going to be happen with the CI/CD only. We are going to do this CI/CDs over the Azure, over the AWS, or the GCP with GitHub Actions, Jenkins. Okay, don't miss out. So, and we are also going to discuss about the LLM ops, FM ops, AI ops also as our part of course. And what else? Like we also come up to this one similar to the DevOps. Yes, similar to DevOps. And ML components, we already discussed ML components in the last session, but let me give you one more time. What is it? What are all the ML components? ML components are first data collection, feature engineering, and model training and deployment and monitoring. Whoever asks in the interview, say this. That's it. This is the life cycle and the components, you can say. So I request everyone to go and register, or if not, you can call me over my WhatsApp. And we are going to do some practical sessions. I request that you will get the all the notes and code, everything over your classroom. Here, you once you get added, you will be added into here. Okay. So go here and just purchase your seat. And what are all the things are there? Step by step, we will go and we'll also do the practicals of the use cases and projects in every stage, whatever I have mentioned here. So very nicely from the scratch, you'll able to learn MLOps and don't miss out in very short period. You'll able to grasp a good subject and able to get into the job. Or if you're already doing, you can able to perform high level, because I'm also going to teach you all the LLM ops and Gen AI ops, and recently it came Agent AI. I also going to add you that Agent AI. If it is it's not technical production still, but what would be the, you might not always don't think like you will be a DevOps. You just think like you're from AI architect or AI um, operation guy. So you'll be having a very good scope in an industry. So that's where you are helping the business to grow. You will be highly paid guy. So trust me and follow up with the trend, and whatever I'll be adding into the courses are all the trend things only. I hope everyone got a clear understanding.
So, where you're getting the data sets? So, you have the data sets to.
Yeah, we have many data sets. We can get it from the Kaggle, okay, from ImageNet. We're going to take the, for our classes we are going to take, and we have some data sets from the GitHub also, and we create our own data. We have some of the data from the local, right? If you want to calculate your Indian house pricings, we can give a similar data and we can train as our personalized. So data set is something that you need to learn here, but at the organization data sets are high, huge level. So we can take from the Kaggle, and there also some projects are open projects are there. I'll tell you how you can contribute.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. So with respect to MLOps, are there any security concepts when dealing with DevOps? So there will be obviously some security things, right? Where the DevOps engineer will manage or integrate the SAST or DAST tools into the pipeline. So
Yeah, SAST and
similarly, when
DAST are dynamic and static analysis. As I said,
yeah,
that's as a part of your CACD, but
yeah,
it's just a one stage of part of CACD. But
mm,
when you come to the picture of ML side,
mm,
data security is something where you're going to integrate the KMS, Azure Key Vault, GCP KMS, and for the masking the things. When you are deploying the model, into your production grade side, you need to encrypt or also do access control over your model while it is training. That is the matter. And
mm,
while you're doing the model validation also, that
mm,
should not be vulnerable. So that's what we need to take care of, tested vulnerabilities on the validation side. And
mm,
as I said, SAST and DAST is going to be happening as a part of your pipeline. You can, but why you are going to only focus on this, you can also focus on something else. It is your pipeline is going to execute. There you need
mm.
to utilize some of the tools like AWS Secret Manager or HashiCorp to keep your sensitive information, API keys, database strings, and all. Okay, so that is the one case.
No, secrets are okay. I
Hmm.
understand you're talking about the secrets that we
Hmm.
can manage via clouds and all.
Hmm.
I'm talking about the code, or I mean, in DevOps, we would be handling the security with respect to code also. Similarly, in machine learning models, are there anything that we need to handle or not? That's my question.
In DevOps, at what level you will secure the code? At Git source code side, you will be applying the code workflows with respect to
Yes.
of branching rules and Git tracking, LFS.
Mm,
There you will enable the MFA and not authorized commits. This kind of things you will do it. And here
yeah.
also you do the same at your source code, but there'll be a top of Git, there'll be DVC, data version control will be there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so these two things will be there at the Git.
Okay.
We do the same here as well. There's no separate
Okay.
thing. The code
Okay.
is code only here also.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. So in terms of infrastructure security, if you for your information, in terms
Mm,
of infrastructure security, we need to also ensure that how the production or your number of servers you created, how reliable. Okay. They
mhm,
should be not get down. I mean, get down in the sense they should not be reduced the capacity, or they should
mm,
not give any errors while the workload is going and running. So
mm.
this should not be happen. So that's what the maintenance. And in terms of the security, you have
So,
to make sure
mm,
your network has to be followed with your proper private subnets, firewall configurations, and strict ingress controllers, where according to the application you need to also provide here at the ML model side. So application deployment is something that front end side everything has to be accepted. It is public, but your model
okay.
is back end. You are not
Mm,
exposed directly to the internet.
mm,
Okay, this is the one thing.
So yeah, Ravi. So that will be see the networking part, and these are all will if you go for a big organization,
Hmm.
we will not do the networking part, right? So network team there will be a separate team will be there, so they will be taking care of these things.
But in some startup companies, there's no
Uh,
network engineer
no,
also.
no, I understand that one. So,
Hmm.
yes. See what I'm asking, right? If ML ops, you see, if you take for large LLM, right, that is also a model, right? So
Yeah.
so that see, if you see the Llama, which is released by Meta, that is having
Yes.
some billions of code.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. So how so we as an ML ops or DevOps if you take, so
Hmm.
DevOps how much time the application like in how much time the application will be deployed without any issues. That is the our main goal of the DevOps. Okay. How how much time the application is going to release after the deployment. So that is the main goal for the DevOps. Right? So in here also ML ops. So we need to train and we need to already the model is trained or something like that. Maybe in some companies the training also will be included in the ML ops, right?
Yes. See,
So
in
with
one
that
shot.
part, no,
Hmm.
no. What I'm asking is, if you go for the llama or something like that is having a huge data sets like 70 billions of
Hmm.
okay.
Hmm.
So if you take for example, so how you will be um, fine tune the model or how you will saving the time to execute that MLOps pipeline and it will release to the production. So how that will be happen?
Okay, so you're asking exactly how the fine tunes of the model, how much time it is going to take,
Yeah,
and
in
according to
CI/CD
your
pipeline.
application deployment or
Yes. See, if it is a
hmm,
small data sets, or we can easily train, and we can build an image. We
hmm,
can build an image of the model, and we can build. If you having
hmm,
saying, for example, Llama set that is having 70 billions of lines of code over there.
hmm,
So how you will create an model with that amount of because the Docker images,
hmm,
we need a GPU of more GPUs, right? If you
hmm,
see, that is not like it's not like a simple
hmm,
CPU. So
hmm.
you have experience on that one to tell us like how you do this.
Okay,
So
so
because nowadays
hmm,
that is the biggest thing. See, everything they are asking DevOps,
hmm,
everything is asking you in fresher. You're going
hmm,
for fresher also. If you're going for experience, they're asking
hmm,
more.
hmm.
So we need this type of things.
Okay, so first of all, as a business case, you need to understand how your application is deployed, but in order to invoke your model into application, you need to understand the business use case. If you're having a lot of numerous of data that you should be trained and get. So one model is not going to be done in one shot. One model is hardly going to train many times. Okay. So in one shot, we can't give the good output. So in this case, what to be save your time, you have to go with the some of the pre-trained models which already available at your Hugging Face or TransAlpha Hub, PyTorch models you hub. You need to get from the some of the pre-trained models. If you are also going with the domain specific data set with your historical data, so there you should align with the some of the objectives, and then you get into the training part. And as you mentioned, if I go with this kind of uh, objectives. Now, how can I manage my infrastructure of it is a am I going to be use this large kind of models? So do I require GPU or a TPU on it? See, if you are going highly scalable, then yes, TPUs. If you're doing highly log model fine tuning, the TPUs are going to be used. Now the come into the picture of tuning the model. Okay, you already now, as according to the business, now we got to know that pre-trained model will help us to run very short a time. And if you are going with the domain specific data, then you have to align with some of the objects to get train the model. And we also know that you need to scale the auto scaling and go with the TPU, GPU servers. And you need to understand here one node can be run only one model, but it's not like that. You need to run multi models, like many models into the one node or into many nodes. You need to go with a clustering. This kind of architecture you need to build clustering, and then the come into the picture of fine tuning. Your model is ready, your data is ready, and now you're coming to the structuring. So here you need to matter of choosing the transformers, like how effectively that you're taking a framework in order to use your transform on the pre-trained models to get done your actual output. So you can make use of many transformer from your Hugging Face. You can take them and you can use them. That's not part of MLOps engineer. That's going to be done with the ML engineer. He's going to take that one, and then the data set is going to be prepared. So in this time of high number of data is going to run, you need to see in the first time that how much time it is taking for this pipeline. So basically, on the development environment, ML engineer will do that. But let's say he has done some kind of a workflow, then he said that we need to automate. Then CI/CD pipeline we will write for the training. So you write from uh, GitHub Action, or you write from Azure pipeline, or you write from somewhere. How much time it is taking? That is take to check out, and it's take to train. It has to push, and then it has to deploy. Okay, or only at train side then it has to test data, and training data it has to push. Then you have to process how much time execution it takes. That's in the first shot we need to understand. Then we have to again debug the same pipeline at what time it is taking more, it is getting any errors, or if it is not getting any errors, but why it is taking high time to. When it is going for high time, what is your server requirement, the runner requirement, or agent requirement? We need to plan. See, most of the pipelines will get fail itself over there. The agent requirement is not sufficient to run that numerous data, or when it is going to train with your big data set. So that's where MLOps engineer will come into the picture and understand the process, and we need to take a appropriate server for it. Okay, and then you are defining, like your ML engineer is defining a lot of arguments in terms of training, like in the terms of fine tuning. So there'll be a learning rate, batch size, a force. Okay, many things will be come into the picture while it is getting trained. It's always depends on him that how he is doing the fine tuning, he need to know that what a fine tune strategy he has to follow on a model. So you are an ML ops that you are going putting your finger in it. I do a fine tune. Then what you know exactly about the fine tuning? You need to be very proper at the fine tuning. With what you get output as a fine tune. You're fine tuning for what? Let's say you have a radio and you have some signal. You are moving knob for what? To get the frequency, accurate frequency. The knob you are moving, you're tuning, right? Until you get a good frequency, you will tune it, the knob. So that's what here also the model is going to be not in the first shot. You'll be tuned until you will get the correct output. You'll be going to tune. That's where you change the parameters. Okay, that's where you change the metrics. Okay, so these are all come to the picture when you have a very good knowledge over the what kind of output you are expecting, and there are some values. So this is how your experiment tracking is going to happen. An ML engineer, as a MLOps engineer, ML engineer is going to do that experiment, pushing, and he will do a track. And we need to make sure a cube flow or a ML flow, we have to ready for them. It is to be ready for them. If one ML engineer is doing one model training experiment, it's not enough, right? In a company, there will be a multiple models, 10 models, 15 models, 17 models. Each model is training in a day 10 times, okay, or 15 times. Now take 10 models, 10 times, 100 times you are running. So a lot of data will be created over there. So you are moving this experiments to the ML flow side. So ML flow need to be run in a servers. Where do you run that ML flow? Are you going to run in a single instance? No. You need to make it clusterized ML flow tool. For that you have to run on a ECS or EKS cluster. Then you will get an inference, and that you need to keep it into your SageMaker or somewhere. Then you have to deploy. So these are all the matters where MLOps engineer is closely works with him, and some advanced techniques where ML engineer will use for fine tuning. So in that case, it's uh, the time will be very less, uh, like we say data argumentations. So in that generalized model, he will do with the advanced techniques. So that's all is depends on the both. Now, what I finally want to tell you, when fine tuning is coming into the picture, that's the responsible of an ML engineer at what output is expecting to the tune. And in terms of making reliable and maintainable model to make him experiment tracking, it's MLOps engineer job. And once it is deployed, whatever he suggested as the metrics or what we know the metrics, we are going to configure a monitoring in order to identify the analysis of the model or the performance of the model. This is where MLOps engineer is involving. Okay. This is how we need to plan for it. I hope I answered your question.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you for your time, and let's connect tomorrow at the same time, and we'll be moving towards the regular classes according to the module wise. So please don't miss out. Everything is very important, and don't miss this batch. Thank.
Some general question, Ravi.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. I was a new guy who joined today.
Hmm.
So, when was the new batch? In the top mat, it was saying 20 was the new batch started. Is there any other batch that was going to be
20.
started now? Or
No, 20 is the demos classes only. It's all demo
okay,
only.
okay, fine.
Okay. That's why practicals we not, because like you only, people will
Hmm.
miss me. We already faced this with our existing batches
Uh-huh.
who are from like we start some practicals into demo, and then we are moving forward like that, and they are
Mm-hmm.
the missing the important stuff they are missing,
Okay,
and then they will not come back to that class, and they'll continue from there on, and they're saying that, sir, we are not understand. It's not
okay.
like that. So I want to take you a sequence manner only.
Hmm.
If you are with me, then you should profitable. That's what my
Okay.
intention.
Hmm.
And I will not leave any sequence. Sequence of learning will help you a lot. Even
Hmm.
though when I learn with a sequence of learning only. If we jump from here to there, we won't get the subject in between.
Okay.
So you might attend one more class as a demo, but attend everyday class. That help you a lot.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
And when was the new batch?
This is a new batch only, and the demos are going from last 20. And yesterday class was not happen, and today this is second class.
Okay.
Okay.
So once the demos are done, I mean, actual classes when would be started?
Actual classes are going to start from tomorrow, Friday, and these 2 days is going to start. And from Monday, you'll able to see
Mm-hmm.
live practicals with the proper notes and steps and everything. I'll show you.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you will get it from the Friday and Monday. Okay.
Okay.
From there, those days, uh, classes are continue without a
Hmm.
break.
Hmm.
Okay.
So, and regarding the support, I have some small doubt.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned you will be providing support for resume development or
Yes.
LinkedIn development and also even Naukri development.
Yes.
Yeah, you will be mentioning, I mean, you mentioned that you will be developing all those things.
Yes.
So,
I give you your resume,
hmm,
and you already created account Naukri, but you're not created up to the mark might be, and
mm-hmm,
I'll help you to create your Naukri 100%, and
mm-hmm,
I'll tell you tactics how to maintain your Naukri and
okay,
LinkedIn as well.
okay.
Okay, so these
So,
things, and also some of the website where you can find good jobs. So there are
okay,
remote jobs also. I'll tell you
mm-hmm,
how you can and when the market will open. So this
mm,
kind of all tactics I'll tell you
mm,
as a part of this course.
okay. And how long this support will be continued?
So this support will be continued for after your course for 1 month. If you're
Mm-hmm,
once you we create your profiles and all, you're not getting calls, then again we do a refine.
mm-hmm,
Okay. So you
okay,
have to wait for every refine for 1 week.
okay.
Okay. So
Is
you
there
do
any?
refine today and it will not immediately affect the next
Mm-hmm,
day. So
mm,
what happens if you talk about the Naukri,
mm,
what they will use, they use AI itself. If you go to
mm-hmm,
Naukri application, they're using
mm,
AI very effectively. So in the
okay,
first of actually 6 7 years back, they invested a lot into data science, and
mm,
now they are into very good of when you apply any job, just see
mm,
it will give you next message. Your resume was viewed.
mm,
Actually, HR is not viewed your resume. AI is reviewed.
mm-hmm,
That will go into find out all the um, uh, like identifiers and the keywords, and then it
mm,
will forward to the HR.
okay,
So there is a database kind of strategy is there. Like
mm,
there is something in the first database, and then it is going to second database where, and also a subscription database. So this kind of how this is going to move when the HR will come, when they
Mm,
will go into identify which resume,
mm,
which AI is selected. So they'll coming and they're selecting the resumes which AI is already selected. They're
mm,
not going manually. So this kind of tactics I'll tell you. What is the
okay.
best time to update? What are the keywords we need to keep?
Mm,
Okay.
mm. And for this refinement, is there any extra charge or something?
No, no, no. Nothing.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a free is part of course.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Ravi, I have one question. So I joined for the Kubernetes.
Hmm.
So is the same link gonna work, or I'm gonna get another link?
You're gonna get
Like
another link.
I will get a new link in the WhatsApp,
Yes,
right?
or your WhatsApp. Yeah.
Okay, great then. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Yeah, the course duration is 40 to 45 days. 40 to 45 days. Okay.
And at the moment, it is only 8 p.m. session, right?
Yeah, 8 p.m. to 9:30.
No other. No other.
No, no.
So in the course content, I saw some airflow related topics. So
Yes.
is it MLOps responsibility to create a pipelines in airflow?
Sometimes it's your job. I mean, you're not completely your responsibility, but you are going to be involved and work. Okay. Because so there are some you need to also ensure some there are some DAGs. You need to see them, the graph and demographic views and all. You need to talk with the data engineering guys and data science guy. Sometimes it's your responsibility. Okay. So we need to know. So that's what every aspect where ML engineer is going to fit and touch all the areas I have mentioned in the syllabus. Okay. Thank you everyone. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.